Welcome to LU Life Church, your global spiritual community portal. I'm your host today, the Reverend Dr Dawnecia Palmer. Here at LU Life Church, all lives matter. Your life matter. Please remember that throughout your day, throughout the coming week, and throughout your lifetime. Remember, your life matter, and it really does count to us here at LU Life Church. Here's another segment. We're in a new month, and I just want to start off as usual with a deep, grateful breath. Yes, inviting you to join me as we take a deep, grateful breath that we are here. We are here today. So many are not here, but we are here. Let us give thanks. Join me. What we're going to do, if you have not done this before, I'll just say three, one, two, three, and we go deep and hold it in a field of gratitude. Allow yourself to feel gratitude above all that you desire, all that you might think you need today to feel free and to be happy. Maybe things are restricting your life. Maybe there's some things you've been praying for and waiting on, and it doesn't seem like forthcoming. Let's just forget everything for one moment and just enter into a feel of gratitude that you are breathing, that you get to be here, right? And even be grateful that we get this moment to be together, just to breathe in that sense of gratitude. Okay, here we go. One, two, three. Take that deep breath in and hold gratitude and exhale. Okay, we'll do that together just one more time and really enter into this field of gratitude. Okay, one, two, three, go. And hold and let go. Here we are, a new day, a new week. Well, this is just a fireside chat. I call this a fireside chat. We're just going to talk today, see what life wants to say to you, to me, to the world, wherever you are. Welcome. The title for our short segment today is What It Takes to Live, Love, and Care Beyond One's Self. Living beyond one's self, the soul, your soul truly, truly grows. What does it take? You know, most are seeking to live. Yes, we want love. We want others to care for us. And of course, we love and we care. But sometimes we need to go beyond just ourselves. Before I go any further with the talk, and it's going to be on that topic, I want to remind us, maybe you haven't been keeping tab, and thank you for being a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, I invite you, please, please, please subscribe today. We really want to make that 100 mark for our subscription list. Please join me today. I welcome you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe today. Click that subscribe button below and subscribe today, and you'll get these coming into your inbox, not just on a Sunday, but whenever and if ever I post. So thank you for that. Thank you also. I'm really taking today to be mindful of my subscribers and of my visitors. And thank you for all those of you that have given, that have donated of any size. I want to say thank you. Everything is valuable. Everything is appreciated and acknowledged. So thank you so much. And if you do want to donate, you can do so. In the description box below, there's a PayPal link. PayPal is very, very safe. We don't have your details when you do that. It is just your business between your email. Nobody can go into your email, only you have your email password and your email is linked to your gift donation, whether it's a bank, etc., it is yours. So if you have never given and you want to donate, you can do so safely through the PayPal website, making your loved gift out to lulifechurch@gmail.com. But I paused here to say this: please get your pen and pencil and mark it down in your diary, because on the 26th of this month, July 2026, will be our 7th year, yes, online with YouTube, presenting these segments. It will be our 7th year. It is not our 7th year of doing church as we know it. This is our 39th year, and next year will be our 4th year of celebration, since we have been in service. We have been in service with live services, in person. And during the lockdown, it really gave us a chance to branch out online. And so nearly every Sunday we do a segment, and we do an in-person. We still do our in-person meet. On the third Saturday over in Bristol, in Easton Community Centre. We call that the Upper Room Experience, and believe me, it is. So if you're in Bristol area at the Easton Community Centre on the third Saturday at 11 o'clock, the Upper Room Experience. You can experience life with us live there. However, we are here online, on YouTube, giving out these segments freely every week. And we've been doing that for 7 years. It will be on July the 26th, and I will be presenting live. I will be doing a live broadcast. So get that into your diary and join me on that day. It will also be our 39th year in ministry. We started out not as LU Life Church, we started out as Bethany Faith Fellowship. Yes, going all those years back. Wow, we started out in St. Werburgh's under the Presbytery team and overseer Reverend Hill, Reverend John Bryant, Joseph Holly, and African pastor and apostle Joshua N. Through back in those days. So we'll have more of that on the 26th of July. We'll be going back with some folks that are still with me in ministry. But on to today. Let us get into it now. What it takes to live and love and care beyond oneself. Because beyond, living and loving and caring beyond oneself, one's soul truly grows. It takes, it takes learning. hmm Learning is good, right? Learning, coming to terms. It's hard sometimes to come to terms with something. When you have to come to terms with sometimes things, it often means that we have been resisting. And how do you know anything you resist insists? So it takes learning to come to terms, right? It takes learning or coming to terms with it's sort of realizing, yeah, realizing that you and I are only a part of the full perspective of the full plan of the original design. Yes, there was an original intent that brought everything, you, me, the world, the galaxies, the universe, the stratosphere, the hemisphere, and so on into being. There was an original thought, and that original thought permeates everything, everywhere, every day, at every time. We just seem to forget that, or worse, we still haven't come to terms with that. Perhaps we never thought about it like that. But today, think about it. You and I were just a speck, like a dust, in the part of this full perspective, yet in our own lives it seems that, especially when we have a problem, right? It like, oh my God, this is it. We are facing this when we are deeply in love and everything is going well. It seems as well like this is our world, and we want to guard it, we want to protect it. And when there is troubles going on in the rest of the world, it seems so huge, so big, we forget that there is an original plan. And that plan could not be, come on, come on. Have you ever been trying to create something? Unless you're really an idiot, and I know nobody listening here is. You don't really go out to seek to make something that doesn't work. Even if it's something that others think bad or you think it's bad, you're doing your worst at your you're doing the best at your worst. Put it that way. And if you're doing it for good, you're doing your best at being good, right? But that's only part of your picture. There's a wider picture to you and I. And in this original plan, which we think we've got it. It's I know I'm gonna say this and it might sound ooh, that's wide. But most people, I should say most, that's a bit easier and kinder. Most people think about the world around themselves. And so their soul remain very small within that close knit. This is how I'm living, about my love, who loves me, who doesn't love me, who cares for me, who I can care for. But you can only care for so much that you know. We can't own everybody or own everything we think we do. But what about those people who have not yet heard of us? You say, well, I'm thinking about them too, but it's not true. If you have not met that person, thought about that person individually, know them by name, you say, well, I don't need to, especially when we are leaders of churches or groups, we pray a blanket prayer, we pray for the world, we set our intention for the world, when we're writing our programs, we say it includes the world, and yet we don't know that Mr. Fawcett exists. You come up and say, Mr. Fawcett is asking you for, £1 million, or Mr. Fawcett's daughter died. We've never celebrated. Come on, let's be true and honest. Sometimes it takes honesty. You don't know who Mr. Fawcett's daughter is, or even Mr. Fawcett prayed, but we prayed for the world. Yes, we pray for the world that we know. It takes something, though, to live and to love and to care beyond oneself. And what it takes to do that is to just come to terms, right? To learn to come to terms and to that realization that your love, your care, and how you're living is only part of the full perspective of the full plan of the original design. Because let me tell you why this is important. Because no one group, no one person, right? No one church, no one organization, no one country, nothing can take the full, right? Can take the full position at a full price. No, it doesn't work. It takes all of us. And you don't know me. I don't know you. I know you in the sense that, yes, a listener was here, a subscriber was here, and I love and I welcome and I bless you. And you hear me, so you know that I exist, but you don't know what goes on beyond in my family and their generation, the generation before that, in my street, where I work, where I shop, the people I meet. Those are all part of my life. I don't know about you and about your family, about your life, about your generations that was and is to come. But I have to learn to understand that the listeners, every listener, there are parts to them. Just like you're looking on the screen, you see that hand. And you see something is growing from that person. You see roots. This goes deeper. That's the root there. I didn't put anything underneath because it is, it's unlimited. It's unlimited. The world goes on. It's not just the little world that we know about. 6 billion, or is it now going up to 8 billion people? But remember, this is only what we have now. What about in the future? What about 2030, 2050, 2060? People said the world is going to end. Maybe your world will end. The world as we know it will end, but the world that is to come will not end when our world ends. And when that world ends, then the world that to come after that will not end. And so maybe we are just sometimes holding on to this little part of how I live, how I love, how I care. And so it's so limited. Our soul doesn't grow. When we are I'm coming into that realization. I'm coming to term that, wow, you know, I might not be getting it right, or I'm getting it right, but somebody else is also getting it right. I don't know everything. I shouldn't just lock everybody out. It makes world such a better place. It helps us then to be more kind, to be more forgiving. And as we are more kind and we are more forgiving, do you know what that does for our world? It causes our world to also grow. It causes the soul of the world, the collective, to grow, to expand in love, in care. So it takes you and I then, and to know that each part matters. Each part matters. You matter. But each part that is you, you're one part, but the other part is still a you, and the other part is still a you. Right now, you're listening, and so it's you. But you are saying you talking about me. And so there is million, umpteen me's and you's in this planet that makes this world, and each part matter. When we live in that knowing, you know, that's you and I. You have been given a part. You are here, and you have only been given a part to play. Don't matter what your name is. You could be a king. You could be a queen. You could be a parent. You could be um, an ambassador. You could be, well, I don't even know what's the greatest title? Okay, since people tend to like title. Doesn't matter. Professor, that's only a part. There are others that will have that part when you cease. When you have done could it be 100 years? I've heard a friend of mine, she's just had an aunt, and she just wrote it out in her status as if it, in her thing, as if it's like an easy thing. And for that person who lived, it was an easy thing. She lived to 102. She looked so good. But you and I, it's not easy. We are trying to do our best to look our best. That woman sat there with her smile at 102. She looked so good, celebrating her 102 birthday. What am I saying? When our years have come, whether it's 102, 105, or if things are going as the wages and people are looking after themselves better, 100, and we might even believe to 110, with our teeth, with our arms, with our limbs functioning, with our brain functioning, in our right mind, as we look after ourselves more. Well, however long we live, when we come into this realization that we're only given a part to play, what it does, it eliminates our frustration. All right. So, let's not frustrate ourselves. All right. Because we frustrate others, and we eliminate and frustrate others when we think otherwise, because we're thinking they're not doing it our way. Our way is the best way. I've got the answer. You haven't. What you've got is not the answer. Every person. Have you ever looked at the world? Listen, the world is round. You're on this side of the world. Unless the televised something shows you what's on the other side, you haven't got a clue what's going on the other side. And when we think about the world that's round, we think about what's on the peripheral of the world. You draw a circle, you think about what's on the outside, but what's on the inside? What's on the inside is always thinking about what's on the outside. And what's on the inside, maybe in the middle, southeast, southwest, um, you know, northwest, southwest, east, west, and all of those things. Every part of the circle is seeing things and experiencing things from that position. There are others that is to come, that have been, that is to come, and that is now not where you are. So when we come into the realization of this, it makes the life, oh my goodness, it makes the world and it makes things less frustrating. And we then, you know, begin to eliminate our ideas of limitation for others. And we cease to frustrate others, or we frustrate them less. Yeah? So we can then begin to play our part to be the best at the part that we get to play. Yeah. We get to be the best of our abilities. I get to be the best of my ability. You get to be the best of your ability. Others get to be the best at their ability as we recognize. And here is this point. Oh my goodness, this is going on long. Come to an end soon. But this point is very important, okay? Very, 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 very important that we begin to recognize. We live to recognize that somebody else, yeah, somebody else is also called and commissioned. Oh my goodness. If we could understand that, if we could come to terms with that, I'll say this again because it's very important. It's actually maybe the most important part of anything that I'm saying today, or in the world that makes proper sense. And I'm saying that, but somebody else might be saying the same thing. That they will be also right. It's very important that we recognize that somebody else has also been called and commissioned. So you have been called and commissioned to do what you are called and commissioned to do, and you must do it to the best of your ability. Somebody else is also called and commissioned to do what they have to do to the best of their abilities. But we frustrate and we eliminate them. We separate ourselves from them. We feel that they have to see it through our eyes. It has to come through like this. Even I'm speaking now like this. You're saying, well, I don't agree, but that's fine. It's fine. Just allow me to do this. I have to do this. You can turn off. Somebody else might turn off from you, and somebody else might turn off from the person that turned off from them, and so on and so on. But when we recognize that this is part of our world, this is part of the global truth. There is coming somebody after you. There is coming somebody after me. In fact, we need to recognize that as long as the earth is existing, all right, our stories are ongoing, our teachings are ongoing, and so on. Because the earth is always evolving and expanding. Why is that? And so, as the world is expanding and evolving, things are evolving. It's not that life itself life is just life, right? Life is eternal. But as the world expands and evolves, it is showing more and more of the picture. So think about, we'll take a name like Abraham Lincoln. He had a vision. Or take Martin Luther King, or take Christopher Columbus, or take Adam, or take Abraham, or take, they had a vision. Take those that translated the scriptures back then. What about those that's translating the scriptures now? You and I talking like this now. You're saying, well, Jesus wouldn't talk like that, but Jesus wasn't living in 2026 where this message is being done. Doesn't mean that Jesus isn't speaking through me right now, or another name. We're just calling a name for the name's sake in this segment today. But I have to recognize that the truth is one truth. But as the earth is revolving, and in my generation, God is calling me. God has called me. Life has called me. Life is calling you from where you are, from the organization that you're involved with, to do what it's called to do. But do not eliminate. We must not, for heaven's sake, speaking to myself, speaking to everyone, we should not eliminate or frustrate those that are being called. They might have been called after you have been called, after your leader has been called, after their leaders have been called, and their leaders, and so on. Doesn't mean that they were wrong, but we are eliminating, we're persecuting, we are demonizing others that have come before us, and those that are coming after us, and those that are coming from a different point, even because every day, every breath you take is a new picture, a new part. Are we saying God changes his mind? No. He's growing. He's growing us to have a deeper and a wider understanding of who he is in life. And so as the earth expands, and each day that the earth exists, there is a bigger and a better piece of the original plan, original. So don't go away and say that I say that, oh my God, God is changing and we're a different God. No, I said there's a bigger and a better piece of the original of. And so we are becoming more and more and more and more exposed to what the picture is, because as it expands, we get to see more. But when we are staying stuck in, well, this is the rigid, this is our set of rules. Well, okay, It's okay for the set of rules for the people in that group. But this one is also, oh, and I'd say I pause here to just pay my respects to Madame Mother Farrakhan, who passed on this weekend. It was her homecoming ceremony, and she was a great woman in the Nation of Islam. Then she was called for such a time as that. I'm sure somebody else is going to take up the mantle, but no one can really walk in her footsteps. She was a woman in her time. But the nation goes on, our people goes on, and we'll see what life has and what how life is involved in there. We will ever, never a person have the full view. Okay? Maybe you will have the full view of what is going on in your generation, but in the next generation doesn't mean that that full view is what the person that come after you will have, because it is expanding. Yes, so in your lifetime it was your way, and you know why? Because life is always unfolding. Life never ends. You can't box in life. I don't care how good it seems and how sure this plan seems. You can't box it in. No, you don't have to change the plan that God has given you. Just recognize that others have got a plan too. So you say, is God divided? No. It is like the globe. Go with what you know, but do not eliminate. When you live in this, coming to terms with that, that's what it takes to live and to love and to care beyond one's self. Okay? As much as it seems so secure, yeah, our only sureness is this. Yeah, the only sureness is this, is the isness of life. I say the isness of life. The isness of life is that it is eternal, it's never ending. Bodies will end, ideas will alter and grow, but life itself never ends. It only unfolds for greater, for better, wiser, and good. That's what we call it. Those are the words we say that life is, it is expanding. Life itself is an expanding. It's the earth that's expanding. It's our knowing, it's our coming to terms with that is expanding and growing. And I pray as I come to a close, oh my goodness, this is perhaps one of the longest segments I have done. That thank you for listening with me today. But what it really takes to live, to love, and to care beyond oneself, beyond ourselves, to allow our soul to truly grow, is to learn to come to terms, really come to terms, that you and I, whatever we're doing, our families, our marriages, our organization, our churches, our country, is only a part of this global, not even global, we say global. Do you know that there's a lithosphere and a stratosphere? What are you doing about that? Do you even know what goes on under the ocean? Do you know what goes on in on Mars, on the Pluto? Do we even know? You say, well, that's not my reach. Well, maybe. Well, God's given me that reach to care about these places. You say, oh, okay, that's for you. That's right. Let us not limit and eliminate. Please, let us not frustrate others. Allow our soul to grow and have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful life item. Please don't forget to mark in your calendar July the 26th. We are celebrating the online YouTube segments of LU Live Church, your global spiritual community, our 7th year. It will actually be the 39th year of our service, but we're celebrating that. Thank you for listening today. If you have a prayer request or a need, a deep need today, something tragic is going on in your life. Maybe it's you've had a loss, you've had some disturbing news, you're just not coping, or maybe you've had some good news. Maybe you've had a baby that's born, or some good news going on. Celebrate it with you, but we also pray for your need today. Where there is any suffering, I pray release, I pray healing, I pray peace, I pray joy, and I pray love. God bless you. We've been listening to LU Live Church, a global spiritual community where you matter, all lives matter. Leave us a thumbs up to let me know you were here. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe today. Thank you.